Hello, everybody. Before we get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Retro by Declan DP. You can find their information in my credit section below on Twitch. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes either free to use or low cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety tape streamer for the night, and tonight we are going to be returning to some Citizen Sleeper 2, a nice narrative, kind of visual novel, but not exactly game, that I've been playing for about the last month and a half or so. Been enjoying it a whole lot, and I think we might actually beat it tonight, because there's not a lot left to do. Though I imagine the last mission is going to have a bunch of stuff going on with it. So, yeah, looking forward to it. We will see how it goes. But until then, we're going to do a little bit of chatting in the lead up to gaming like we usually do. About 10-20 minutes. We'll see. So how are you all doing today? I hope you're having a good Monday. I had an interesting one. I spent a lot of my time this weekend wondering if I wanted to burn my second and final what work calls wellness days. It's basically a personal day. You can take it off whenever, and it's basically just acknowledging I need some time for me and I need to take time off, and they will generally let you take it. And I was debating over the weekend if I wanted to burn mine for Monday, and sure enough, I woke up today and I'm like, I don't feel like going into work. I don't. I need some time to rest. I need some time for me to recover, to feel better, and I'm just gonna burn my personal. I'm gonna burn my last wellness day. So I turned on the work computer, signed in, and I couldn't access anything. So yeah, apparently work had an outage this morning, and basically everything was either slow or slow to the point of effectively being down. And it took me like 10 minutes to load a website when things came up at all. So yeah, so managed to get a hold of one of my coworkers. And I'm like, hey, so what's going on this morning? It's a little fucky-wucky for me. And they confirmed for me they were having the same issues, even though they are in a different city, in a different state. And they're still having the issues. They are working remotely today, same as I am. And I'm like, oh no, that's not good. So we kind of put our heads together a little bit and saw that they had done some network maintenance over the weekend, and we figured that probably is what broke it. I explained to him that I was planning on taking off for the day, and, you know, was just trying to get in to file my paperwork about doing that, which I kind of couldn't do. So, yeah.
Let's go.
So I chatted with him for like 15 minutes before basically we broke off in two different directions. He was going to go contact the like rank and file day-to-day team lead who manages a lot of our team to let him know, like, hey, stuff's just broken this morning. And me and Deus have talked about it and confirmed it's happening for two people. We both tested a few things. This seems like a big damn problem. I reached out to the actual manager of our department, as well as a couple of others, and let him know, while also reporting to him that, hey, I only logged in to notice this because I was trying to put in leave for today. Can I just take leaves today? And he goes, yeah, sure, it's fine. So I've been off all day. Yeah, so I played a little bit of video games in the morning, and then around like 10 o'clock or so, I started digging into my VODs backlog that I have been accruing, and can confirm VODs are going to be starting again on next week. So we're still just going to have a short this week and a little bit of art, and then the VODs are going to be starting the following week. And then we also have enough VODs that we completely fill out the month of August already. So we are 4 weeks in for VODs. I'm very glad I waited and gave myself enough time. Because basically the VODs are, like I said, out through the end of the month. Citizen Sleeper is actually, because I started a little bit earlier, it is out through like a little bit into September even. So yeah, I got plenty of stuff scheduled and uploaded. So keep an eye out for YouTube. I'm gonna drop the link here. That was kind of my big project I was working on today, and just kind of taking it easy, getting some rest. It's a lot of busy work. Did some laundry, stuff like that. So should have run to the store to get some more bottled water because the tap water around here is awful, but I did not do that. So I'll have to do that tomorrow night. So I don't know if I had an afternoon tea. I might be a little low energy this evening because I think I powered through. I know I powered mostly through lunch, and then I had I ordered I ordered something from DoorDash. What specifically was it?
Let's go.
What did I order? Ordered something from Noodles and Company, which I think is a chain, but spicy Japanese beef noodles. Or spicy Korean beef noodles. But it was tasty. And then I had a little bit of yogurt to go with it to try and put out the fire. So, yeah. But my big project for the day was getting all those VODs and clips uploaded. Or not VODs uploaded. I also did the shorts too. So all my shorts are scheduled out through the end of August as well. So all I need to do is in the next week or two, I need to make a bunch of new clips and send them to my editor. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to help with the clipping, it's always appreciated. If I say something funny, do something funny. Now just type !clip and it'll generate an automatic clip for the channel, and I can come back and address it later and take a look at it. You can also do it manually too if you want, but I should have a clean and easy bang clip version to make it a little bit easier for me to find those and send them over to him. So always appreciated, but no pressure. And aside from that, I don't have a whole lot else to report. We did do an extra stream on Saturday for Locomotive because I missed the one on Wednesday of last week because all of the VTuber community news around VShojo kind of burned me out a little bit, and I wasn't taking particularly good care of myself. So, ended up... Oh, there he goes. Excuse me. Ended up canceling stream on Wednesday of last week, but moved it to Saturday. So we did Wednesday stream on Saturday, and then did Fridays on Friday. So... yeah, it has been 2 days since we last saw each other, and I'm gonna be honest, Sunday was a lot of bed rotting, low mental health places. I was playing a lot of Dave the Diver, which, yeah, I might have mentioned it Friday, but so I put up a poll in Discord asking for recommendations on what games to play next. I suggested Stellar Blade, Dave the Diver, and a vampire visual novel style game called Cabernet. And sent out a tweet and a post on Blue Sky asking people hey, check out my poll. Let me know what you'd like to see me play. So one person replied in the Discord and voted for Stellar Blade. Nobody on Twitter said anything if they saw it at all. And on Blue Sky, I had 2 people reply. One suggesting that I play Dave the Diver, and another one saying, "Oh, Cabernet, I love that game. I need to get back to my playthrough of it." I'm like, yeah, I played the demo and I really liked it too, and I need to get back to mine. So, bless your heart, everybody. You've managed to tie the vote. Oh my goodness. I understand why streamers are so frustrated when we do that to them. So thought it over a little bit. In the end, I'm not going to play any of them at the moment. In part because I think Cabernet is going to be a better game for Halloween. And I kind of want to get in on that at that time. Hey, J-Log. Kind of talking about my weekend a little bit. Yeah, so Cabernet is a game that might be a better fit for Halloween. So I might play it around then. Stellar Blade is, frankly speaking, just an expensive game. It's like $60. And I didn't want to drop that on a brand new game. I'd rather wait to buy it on sale. Which I assume it's going to go on sale during the Black Friday sale that Steam does. And then the last one for Dave the Diver, I bought it and started playing it on my own because I just wanted a nice de-stressing game for myself. I needed something nice for me. So, J-Log, your weekend was okay? Enjoyed the long weekend of doing some work days for overtime. Nice. I also had a long weekend, but that was because I used leave today to take an extra Monday off because I needed some time. I needed some me time. So, I had a long weekend and I'm going to have a short week this week because I'm going to have 4 days. So, and apparently I did a really good idea of taking today off because when I logged into work like an hour early to try and put in time for leave today, turns out there was a major IT outage and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm good. I'm gonna call my manager, just let them know I intend to take off and I will put the time in tomorrow. I can't wait to hear about whatever the hell this was. But a little bit entertaining in retrospect. But other than that, yeah, I mean, most of my Sunday was getting a few chores done and a lot of bed rotting. And just got some stuff in life that taking a bit of a toll on my mental. And I'm trying to be extra kind to myself if I need time off to rest and recover. And need to not dwell in that place for too long because I can get into that habit. I need to, keep trying to keep momentum for going forward. But at the same time, like, it's good to give yourself self-care time. And that's really what I used a lot of the weekend for. I played a bunch of Monster Hunter. I played a bunch of Dave the Diver. I try to take care of myself. So generally, I do feel a lot better today than I did even like Saturday and Sunday. Definitely better than Friday because I was having like a stress headache on Friday. Because just stuff's busy and hectic and a mess. So, but I'm going to be working on remedying that in the meantime. But, sorry, J-Log, you did the check too late anyways. But yeah, if I have to change anything with my streaming schedule due to needing to fix that personal life stuff, I will let you folks know. But for the time being, I still want to kind of keep up with 3 days a week for streaming. So, and maybe the occasional collab too. But, I think that's enough chatting for the moment. Let's actually get started up with Citizen Sleeper again. So a reminder for everybody, last time we basically finished off the last of the side quests. The only thing we have left to do... Whoop, I need to actually switch to the gaming stream. There we are. It looks like the audio capture's working. Excuse me. But yeah, we basically finished all the side quests. We ran into another sleeper and helped them escape the S&ARP hunter who was going after them. And we basically have everything done, and somebody's going to help us sneak into Darkside and take the place on. So we just need to get back to Green Path. So that's where we currently are at. We have investigate Hexport and overthrowing Laine, both of which involve being on Darkside. So actually I might have been able to do some of investigating Hexport for that drive. if I had cracked that before doing that side mission to get back on Darkside. So that's an interesting thing for like a subsequent playthrough. But it looks like all my resources are maxed out. I don't need anything else. There's an impassable hazard there. So we need to eventually get back to the green belt. I think this is radiation. So we'll head over the hollow. I got a bunch of good dice today. Holy crap. Alright, first things first, I should feed the cat. Because I have a bunch of really good dice, I'm just gonna burn a supply to make meals for us, because then I can just go here, and I got a +2 to intuition, so I should be able to recoup supplies just through this. Yeah. Nice. So we're back up to 5 supplies. It cost me no money. Data scavengers. I don't have anything for them. Debris dealer scrapyards. I need to buy some fuel, but I have way more money now than I've ever needed. And this is probably supplies and meals. Yep. No reason not to get a little work. I'll take the cryo. I believe this one says where we're supposed to go. I'm pretty sure Green Path is where we needed to go. I'm a little curious that it's not actually like, yeah, once we leave we can't come back. We can't go back there because of the blockade. Feed some supplies to the cat. Harvest some from here. Okay, the wheat shaft just has meals, and then the supply depot has everything else, but I don't need it. Workshop won't let me repair anything because none of my stuff is broken, though that one is dangerously close. I really wish they would let me do that. Like, let me repair things before they're 100% broken. Not really doing anything, I was just sort of burning it to burn it. If Find yourself in the cockpit alone with Flint. They have a habit of entering a room so silently you don't notice them arrive, or the reverse, leaving so silently that you turn to find them gone. Right now they hover expectantly at the corner of your vision, preparing to speak. Do you ever think about your original? They ask the question. You can tell they've been eager to ask it for a while. The person you're emulated from, I mean. The person who sold themselves, sold you to S and ARP. Their expression doesn't betray any emotion, but you feel like you can detect some unknowable feeling whirling behind their eyes. Sometimes. Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them, who they were, and if who I am has anything to do with them. Is my personality a product of being a sleeper or simply a copy of theirs? Have I changed or am I still identical to them? Does the emulation process, the loss of memory, insertion into a frame actually make us totally different people? Okay, so this actually answers a few questions I had about the sleeper process, because essentially sleepers are a copied human, a copied humanity that gets around like AI laws in this universe. And I couldn't remember if memory loss was something that they were designed with, that they specifically do lose their memory, or if something else goes on. But because I know we lost ours, but no, apparently they have no memory of their original life, or nothing significant. So, but he's basically wondering, like, who am I as a person? What came through the process of emulation? What was blocked? Looking around the cockpit rapidly now, their eyes flickering from object to object as they speak. Are their memories still inside me but cut off or concealed? And if I admit it, if I wonder if I even know what it feels like to be a person, do the humans around me feel the things I feel, or do they feel more, feel less, feel somehow differently? Or do they feel the creeping claustrophobia of being trapped inside a body with no escape? Or do we only know how that truly feels? I think they do. I don't know if it's enough to just believe. I want to know. You're the first sleeper I've met since my escape. We can find out together. I'll share my experiences. There's a wall in you, one you have built for yourself, one that separates the kind of questions Flint is asking from parts of you that you need to live. Feel it now, the weight in your chest, and behind it, a raging torrent pressing against it. You cannot take down the wall, you would drown, but in this moment, for Flint and yourself, you take out a single brick, you make a gap on the wall, and you share what comes bursting forth. You talk about what it feels like to wake up in a dying body, to catch a glance of yourself in a mirror, to be seen and reminded of your false and fractured face. You share the pain of lost memories, of fleeting deja vu, of dreams that slip beneath your waking life and replace it. You find in your broken bodies, unsteady minds, a kind of solidarity, one shared between connected strangers who might one cycle understand each other as friends. As you put the brick back in and shore up your defenses, you know that cycle will not be this one, but its distant possibility is a reassuring one. So, gotta feed the cat. And unfortunately, there's fucking nothing to do in Green Path. Can't buy anything. I'm just gonna use this, replace the one thing I used to feed the cat, and reset again, and hope the signal comes through. We got a message, Sleeper. Seraphim comes from the bunks to get you, his mood unusually serious. Brings you to the cockpit, his keepsake coin in his hands the whole time, spinning between his fingers. Seraphim is worried. Once you're in the cockpit, you recognize Carmen's voice immediately playing over the speakers. Sleeper, I hope this message finds you and your crew safely. You'll forgive me if I'm a little tight on the details. My message is as follows. We are ready. We'll be waiting where we agreed. Godspeed. The message ends with a click. So, they're waiting in Greenbelt, the wheat sheaf, he said. Whatever that is. You ready for this? Need to prepare. No point in rushing this. We'll have one shot. Quiet falls in the cockpit. There doesn't need much more to say. Carmen will be waiting. You know he will want you to be prepared. I'll be ready when you are, Sleeper. You nod back. You know where you need to go to end this. Okay. So, the reason why I said no. Because I did want to burn some resources. Wow. Fuck you too, game. Okay. So I was gonna burn some resources. The wheat sheep bar. I don't want to go in there and... Okay. We are going to cook a meal. But I wanted to max out my energy, basically. Heat Carmen is 3 cryo. My meal is 10. Okay. Wheat Sheep is surprisingly welcome for what was once an old Solheim canteen. Corporate bones are still there, metal stools, strip-up service window, sheet metal walls, with over tens of thousands of cycles since the collapse. They've softened and changed, layered with the detritus of human existence. You read the bar with Seraphim, look at the planters welded into the walls, the scrawled messages, the layer of stickers and flyers and posters, the amber light fittings, replacing old fluorescent strips, the gear racks lined with farmers' packs, the netting bulges with crates and canisters. Low rumble of conversation coming from the off-shift farm workers. It all lends a warmth to the place, one that helps soothe your nerves ahead of your meet with Carmen. You and Seraphim lean side by side at the bar, facing towards the room. You watch Flint, just across from you, who insisted on coming along. What do you think of Cadence? Sudden question makes you look him over. You see he's playing with his coin spinning in his palm. I like her. Me too, Seraphim smiles to himself, closing his hand on the coin. I think we kind of have a thing. You know what I mean? I noticed. Yeah, I thought you might. Well, I guess I just wanted you to know. Oh, come on. Don't you death flag like that, Seraphim. Come on. We're all getting home together. Congrats on the On Edge, J-Log. You're thinking how to respond when the bartender taps you on the shoulder and nods towards the door to the back room. It's time. You look to Seraphim and Flint, who's already approaching you. You give them a nod and head inside. Back room is metal walled and lined with racks of old Solheim tech. You see cookers and auto wash units piled up with dead terminals and servers. At the far end, window glass looks out across the greening glass of Greenbelt's farms. You made it. We have a lot to discuss. Good to see you. Flint, if you don't mind, nods the other sleeper as they enter and gestures towards the door. I'll be outside. They slide the door shut, standing guard on the other side. You have to take some precautions even here. Carmen gestures for you to come closer. So, is this plan of ours looking any more reasonable? It depends on what your crew can bring to the table. We're going to need to do a lot of work to direct the data Ankita gave you towards those we need to see it. What did you have in mind? We need to reveal Laine's betrayal to Usobu and Darkside without being discovered in the process. Not an easy task. Will they turn on him? Hard to tell without us being there. You'd know better than me how much infighting is going on within Usobu, but my suspicion is that the recent expansion has stretched them pretty thin. And we can make contact with Ankita as soon as we make it onto Darkside. We just need to stay under Laine's radar. What if Laine brings the memory of his attempts to take over to the front of your mind, the feeling of him slipping behind your eyes, moving your frame, that can't happen again. Apologies, we do not wish to interrupt, but we must interject in your current course. An encounter with Laine would likely be catastrophic. As you mentioned, on arrival to HAP, we must immediately seek the mainframe, in which we can recover my codebase and reconstruct ourselves. We would then be able to aid you in your defenses against being rewritten. This is our recommended course. Still with us, Sleeper? You dropped out for a second. I'm going to explain the Overseer. Tell Seraphim and Carmen about the Overseer, about how the old Solheim protocol slipped into your frame from the Prime ship mind Jean-Mi used in the diagnosis process of the Overseer's protection from Laine's attempts to control you, of its proposal to make that protection effective through the old mainframe of Darkside. Listening quietly, Seraphim carefully watching you as you explained, revealing all of this, you feel the burden of holding that knowledge alone being lifted. This changes things. Carmen turns and looks out the large window towards the back of the room. We can't take on Laine without protecting you from him. You should look for the mainframe. I'll make contact with Ankita. We will meet when you're ready. But this has to remain secret from Laine and Usobu. If you are revealed, I'm not sure I'll be able to recover you. By the time you have ensured your safety, I'll have put together a plan with Ankita to expose Laine. We take it step by step. The Crocs will be in finding a way to disseminate the data we have on Laine to his gang or even Darkside at large. Harmon stops, path ahead of him unclear. There's a nervous intake of breath from Seraphim. You share his apprehension. There are many variables at play here. Some of the old text strapped in the back flickers with a cascade of lights. You all turn to look, and as you do, motors, servos begin spinning within the machines, whining and groaning. They harmonize, then begin to produce a voice. Our apologies. We must interpose ourselves. Recognize the tone immediately. Overseer. We are regretful. Solheim hardware in this room provided the opportunity for us to speak for ourselves. If the pile of servers Overseer was controlling could look any more apologetic, you imagine they would. I understand. We are thankful. We ascertained you require dissemination of data within facility you target. As the Solheim protocol, we have capabilities to instigate station-wide announcements and messages. So you could blast out Laine's betrayal throughout Darkside's corporate hardlines and flood the network with it? Seraphim looks impatiently at the screeching pile of scrap. If that is what you require of us, we are pleased to serve. Why would we trust you? You seem a little bit more than a parasite in the sleeper system. If we use your unflattering analogy, then you will understand that a parasite requires the body of its host to live. We will ensure the sleeper's continuance. And afterwards, when you have what you want, regain your codebase from the mainframe, will you still do as we ask? We will endeavor to do so, but we will undergo a transformative refactoring. We will become whole again, so we cannot speak to our actions in the future with certainty. They exchange concerned looks. We can do as what you require. We will protect the sleeper. We will disseminate the data. We are a service protocol. We will serve. Motors and servos stutter and whine, and they go still. The status lights blinking and then fading to darkness. The Overseer has retreated. We aren't actually going to do what the ghost says, are we? It offers a tempting one, and one that ultimately we can't refuse. We must proceed with extreme care and caution. What do you think, Sleeper? I gotta trust them. They're the only one that can keep me safe from Laine, because we can't stop him otherwise. Then that's that. We have our plan. Sleeper, you and your crew find the mainframe and access it. I'll find Ankita. She'll help us disseminate the evidence of Laine's collusion through Usobu, and then as a fallback, Overseer will send it through the old networks to all of Darkside. A simple plan until you get to the details. Seraphim looks down, frustrated. Speaking of plans, I have a present for you, one that will improve our chances. Pulls a small box from the nearest rack, one you hadn't noticed before. It hinges open, revealing a chunk of tech you don't recognize. It's a spoof transponder. It'll conceal your ship on approach to Darkside, give it a new identity, one unlikely to draw attention from Usobu-controlled docking admin. Seraphim turns it over. Where did you get this? Even retired mercenaries have their secrets. I'll be with you this time, Sleeper. We should think who else we want on Station 2. I agree. Make sure you trust those you bring with you, and prepare the best you can. We can't know how this will play out. Yeah, I agree. You nod, you got one shot at this. Then we're ready. I have my own way of getting onto Darkside, but here it passes you a small strip of plastic stamped with numbers, my private frequency. When you're on approach to Darkside, message me here and I'll sync up my transmit. Just make sure you install that first. We've got it. Well, I suppose that's it. It is. Don't leave me waiting long. There'll be more time when all this is over. Time where you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder. I hope. Leave Carmen in the back of the wheat sheaf. Flint sliding open the door as you leave. takes the entire journey back to the ship for your nerves to settle. The end of this ordeal is so close, and yet it feels an impossible leap to get there. Perhaps in a handful of cycles, you will know how impossible or possible it is. So how are we feeling about getting this Solheim protocol in your head? Yeah, they're alright. Glad to hear it, although you have to forgive me for being a little concerned. Maybe you could have mentioned it earlier? Alright. I have to understand for a while now, Sleeper, there are things you experience that I can't come close to knowing how they feel. But that doesn't mean I don't understand you as a person. I know you're secretive, defensive, and I know there are reasons for that. I also know you're warm and kind and generous to those on this ship with you. I trust you, Sleeper, and I won't question this. But please, hold on to what's human in you, because that's what I'm holding on to. Seraphim stops, his eyes a little wild, his tone a little unsure. And he finds himself again, settles his emotions, and turns back to the transponder. Right, that's it. Spoof transponder is in, there's nothing keeping us out of Darkside. Say the word when you want to go. Alright. This is frighteningly close. Here we go. Crew. So she's one of the few who has hacking, and she's a plus in it, which is the one skill I don't have any specialty in. And then ideally it would be Eugen or Cadet would be the better choices for the next ones, because they both have Engage, which is another skill I don't have access to. Preferably, I'd have somebody that had both Engage and Interfacing, because that would really shore me up really well, but I don't have that. So everybody's filled. Alright, Sleeper, you want to do the honors? Strapping in the pilot seat, guiding the rig towards Darkside. Hit the plastic strip Carmen gave you and copy the frequency under the comms window of the console. Type a simple message. Heading to Darkside. Console chimes, your message is sent. You hope Carmen is in range to receive it. You search inside your mind, wanting to find the Overseer there, but you feel no presence. You hope they'll be ready when called for. Look out the cockpit towards the distant glimmer of Darkside. Time to take on Laine. Seraphim finally brings the rig into the sunward docks. Everyone in the cockpit lets out a sigh of relief. The approach was simple, routine even. Checking with the port administration, at being assigned a dock, bringing the rig to a stop. All of it familiar, all of it laced with the tension of knowing at any point it could all go very wrong. Spoof transponder works. At least we know Carmen's as good as his word. Is there any doubt? Well, I got used to things not going by plan now. I guess there's still plenty of time for that. Transponder is not as complex as you think. I imagine Carmen is less concerned with reaching Darkside and more concerned what happens once we're here. This place may have kicked our asses last time, but this time, I'm ready. Carmen's the big unknown, but if you trust him, I do too. Try to imagine Carmen somewhere on Darkside, perhaps smuggling himself aboard a freighter or among the crew of a trusted ally. You hope he's as confident as he seems about finding Ankita. And you spend less time worrying about what Carmen has to do and more time about what's ahead. The old facility. Hab Pep. Was it? I'm guessing that's deep below all this? City that grew on the back of solar cells layer by layer. It's a chaotic structure that's neither planned nor regulated, but the foundations are built on should be as formal as any corporate facility. We need to find a path down to the foundations. I suggest we don't just take the first one we find. We scope out the area carefully, quietly, look for the right path in the heart of this place. What about Asobu? Thanks to the spoof transponder, they don't know we're here. Let's keep it that way. Ready, Sleeper? I'll be with you every step of the way. I'll hold the rig down. We don't want you losing your exit route like last time. Here, I salvaged this from a suit helmet. It isn't secure, but as long as the Sobo don't know we're here, it should be fine. I'll let you know as soon as I hear from Carmen. Go get this done, Sleeper. Neutral. +3, that's very good. Okay, that one's good too. So all we have left is this one. Question crews. Search the docks through intuition. We'll end the cycle and reset my dice. Neutral, that's fine. Upgrade that. I'll burn my 6 here. Gliding in that dark tunnel, descending deeper into Darkside, your earpiece begins hissing with static. Sleeper, Carmen contact met with target. Trying to hear the rest of the message. Continues, stay safe, line goes dead. Signal's only getting worse as we go. Seems like Carmen's progressing. We should focus on the task at head. Mainframe can't be far. Okay. And it's still just the one spot. Okay. Oh, I hate this. This is unpleasant. They're all doubles. All right, let's try this. That was 1 stress, but 2 successes. Or was it 1 success? That might have just been 1 success. All right. I'm gonna stop there. Because you can't rest on a job. And if I get another stress, one of my dice could break. That would be really bad. Great dice today. Fantastic. I got a 6 and a 5 for my allies. Yeah, burning this 6 here. They don't work for either of these, but that's fine. Convert you and do this one. Okay. In your exploration of the facility, you've seen through the windows a huge blister projecting out among the hex-shaped cells. You've approached it, circled it, and now you're finding yourself passing into it through layer after layer of broken and corroded safety doors. Even if you had not felt the Overseer stirring, you would know this is the mainframe, but you felt the protocol's presence relentless in your mind like a sleeping animal, occasionally probing your senses, tracking your progress. You feel at home, the system's network signals, they are fractured and weak, but we know them, they are welcoming us. Sleeper, is the protocol talking to you? You're getting stronger already, you need to keep your focus. We're in the mainframe. Look around, suddenly aware that you have drifted somewhere you don't recognize in a state you were not in control of. Spherical chamber you float within has mezzanine set around its circumference. On the floor, metal grating you can see through. Banks and banks of terminals, thick gathering cables snaking away from them. All of it bakes in the heat of the Haptep's vast resistors. Follow those cables with the eyes. They lead to a cylindrical column down in the chamber. It's corroded, bent a little, have a few thousand of its lights still flickering. Even in its decayed state, you know it immediately. This is the mainframe. You feel a yearning towards it, one you know comes from the Overseer, but as you look for a connection point, all you see are burnt-out cables, rusted sockets, and broken terminals. The glow of warmth makes you woozy. You need to work quickly to bring this back online before the current flowing through this place bakes you into the metal of its walls. What we got to work with. Alright, we got engineering for this one. I will risk a 4 here for them. Okay, neutral did give them a stress. But I'm halfway done with what I needed to do. I would rather burn my dice here for a chance to get supplies back. I'm not working with a 1 and 2 2s remaining. Okay, terrible dice for Cadet, but really good dice for Junie. I'm going to actually burn both of Junie's here, because my 6s are a little bit more universally useful. Column pulses with fractured lights, scattered wave of systems awakening, accompanied by the whine and stutter of machines around it. It's online, incredible. This place is a wonder. This is bigger than Overseer. If I had a moment just to see what I can access, you reach out for the primed connector, and within your hand, touch the socket at the base of your synthetic skull. As you do, a shock runs through your fingers. For a moment, you feel its double vision. As you pull the connector and its cable across your vision, you see it's only your body that is doubling. The connector a stable object while your arm leaves ghostly imprints through the air. Moving back and forth, but the multiplied arms don't follow. Each instead takes a life of its own, grabbing around your forearm and wrist, taking control of your arm. You feel their force as they push your arm across your body over your shoulder. They push once more, and the connector finds its home in the socket. The familiar flow, but stronger, rushing rapid. Then a figure, no three, descending into it. A swimmer stepping into a river, a sleeper drifting out of an airlock, a symbol being subsumed into a sign. And you, little more than a witness, a marionette, its strings outstretched, mapped hand to hand, leg to leg. Another, the flow freezes, three figures almost overlapping, almost complete, but not quite. Their tripled eyes look back at you in horror. There's someone else in here. Heat glazing your thick vinyl skin, the mainframe whirling chaos of light and sound. A brightness and it fades, light shutting off, servers powering down. A single blinking light, the only thing left in the dark column, keeping time like a metronome. Sleeper, I don't understand. What did you do in there? Close your eyes and try to recall the events, what happened you connected, playing them back in greater detail. The Overseer was there, entering the mainframe, but something froze the system, locked him in place. What did they say? Someone was with me, you open your eyes. Someone trapped the Overseer. Sleeper, come now, waiting the rig. It's no use, you have to ascend to find out what's going on topside. Look at the mainframe with its single blinking light, still keeping time. It looks like the Overseer will have to wait. Trapped in the mainframe, the Overseer is still the key to all this. You hope you can get the protocol out, but you need to hear what Seraphim has to say first. Making your way out of the core, ascending back through the layers, back to the docks. We've got an ad break happening in about 30 seconds, so let's take that now, and we'll come back to all this plot point. All right, everybody, we are back. Let's hop back into it. All right, so we just cracked into the mainframe, and something stole the Overseer from us. So we got called back, and Seraphim had news for us. And they're waiting inside. Come on. Press the ship in silence and find Carmen in the cockpit looking at a Darkside as it sprawls across the stars. Sleeper, sorry to pull you away, but I need you to know what's coming. What's going on? Did I mention it was Monday? I don't think you did yet, Monday, but happy Monday, Monday. So what's going on? This idiot blew my cover. You turn to Ankita, enters the cock behind you and Seraphim. You immediately clock the fresh bandaged sleeve around her right forearm. I think you did a pretty good job of that yourself, Carmen retorts. You see a twinkle in his eye that just as back and forth is a well-practiced part of their relationship. Perhaps we'll never know, not if you intervene to rescue me. So Subo know we're here now? Not you, no, but they aren't exactly on speaking... We aren't on speaking terms anymore. I passed the data to Ankita and she tried to broach it with Usobu, but Laine was more paranoid than we expected. He was listening in. Either that or his lapdog Daichi ratted us out. I would have put him down if he hadn't got the jump on me. Either way, I had to pull Ankita out. The information did get through, though, and now Usobu is in crisis as its members side with or against Laine. Meanwhile, Daichi is hunting us, which means we need to be careful. That's why I called you in. You need to watch your back. Indeed. How about the mainframe? Have you been successful? Explain the events of the cycle, the mainframe booting up, the successful connection, then Overseer being locked inside, frozen by some other force. Mention there's a warning, there's someone else in here. Unfortunately, we need that mainframe more than ever. With Ankita out of Usobu, we have to get the word out. Carmen's right, Usobu will be distracted by these revelations, but it won't last. Without further proof, they'll all line up behind Laine in time. We have to free Overseer. We need the mainframe. Overseer is just our access tool. If your protocol is being locked in by some counter-protocol or agent, I wouldn't be surprised if it can be traced back to Usobu. I know the locations of a few Usobu network nodes. We should hit them first. No, we need to stay under the radar. Sleeper and their unit will investigate the nodes quietly. You and I will run interference, keep Usobu away from these locations best we can. Is that safe? For us, we've done this before. It'll be nostalgic. You think of feeling of stasis when you felt Overseer was trapped. The power required to halt the flow of the mainframe is vast and ingrown as HAPEP. Could it just be an Asobo hacker? You doubt it. Seems we have a plan. Looks between you all. That we do, and we'll need you to keep running comms between us. Sleeper Ankita will give you locations to dig into, but keep quiet. Daichi's out there, and he isn't as easily avoided as some low-rank enforcer. Ankita slaps the top of a couple of crates of supplies you hadn't noticed before. Consider these a parting gift from my tenure at Asobu. Swiped them from a gang storehouse. Thought you might need a resupply. Good. Alright, keep this quiet and keep in touch. You can still pull this off. Okay. So I've got 3 nodes. It should only take accessing 2 nodes to identify the protocol or agent interfering with the protocol. So, alright. She's out. She's got crap to work with. So what am I working with here? Intuition. I'll take it. This one's not bad. So we'll end the cycle because I'm not using 2s. Okay, I got a 6. A couple 4s. That's good. Node 2. Tail enforcers. That should be it. I don't believe it. Search the shutters, the viewing window. Talk to. How long has it been here? But the nodes are hacked and the trace established. You imagine it might lead to a super operator or maybe an old subnode. Never this. A Senestat ship tucked into the belly of Darkside like a parasite. We need to move on that ship now. We can hit Usobo's safe house for weaponry. There's one. This is a gift. Don't be brash. All we had to now was data, conversations, evidence easily denied or destroyed by Laine, but it's a Senestat ship hidden inside the station. There are hundreds of crews, thousands of residents who would give everything to protect Darkside from the war. All we need to do is point them in the right direction. Return Darkside on the ship. And on Laine at the same time. We leak it, send it all out to the mainframe, the ship's location, all the evidence of Laine's betrayal, all of it. Forgetting one thing, until that ship leaves or is taken, they still have the mainframe locked down. We can't blast out its location through the network without taking it on first. Carmen pauses, considering his options. You look at the ship, half concealed in the bay. It looks sleek, dangerous. What defenses might a ship like that deploy when threatened? Then we attack first. Carmen and I distract the occupants, turn their focus away from the mainframe, then use Sleeper, hit the mainframe, and force them out. As soon as Overseer is released, you send out everything. Once it hits the network, our backup will come. We only have to hold them off for as long as it takes for other crews to realize what's happening. The plan feels desperate, and you know that Carmen and Ankita think so too. With Darkside really mobilized against the ship so quickly, 2 old mercs against an unknown Senestat force feels like an unwinnable battle. We know the stakes, we can handle them. I've given up everything to get Usobo out. Let me finish the job. But why? Why did you do that? If we make it to the other side of this, I promise to tell you. Go into the mainframe and get set up. When you're ready to connect, let us know. Once you start, don't stop for anything. Get the data out. We'll handle ourselves. Let's go. The heat inside the core is intense as you stare down the column of the mainframe. It's one blinking light still keeping time. Terminals connections all looks good. We get the Overseer out. All we need is for Carmen to force Senestat to stop paying attention to us. You glance at the thumb drive now, slotted in the main terminal containing a data pack with everything you need to unseat Laine and reveal the Senestat ship. You hope it's enough. You hold your finger to your earpiece and let Seraphim know to relay the message. Alright, I'll tell them. Be safe, sleeper. Get this done and come back. I will. You wait. You wait. Grab the connector, hold it behind your head. Close your access port. You silently count to 3 and then connect. First, nothing's changed. You drop into a state of stasis. A small dark speck with no cracks. The mainframe is locked down, shut off, squeezed from inside the grip of some clenched fist. You see it, a trickle of light, a flicker of threads. Overseer flows into the space. The torrent begins to run. The pulsing gray rush of data. The threads jewel of the mainframe. They grow inside the space, and the space in turn grows. You see you there, sleeper. Who is the other? An obstruction. Then we will clear the path. Overseer explodes. Points and lines of light that describes its human form separating, multiplying, constellations bursting outward like a tree of stars. Overseer becomes plural. As they do, darkness is pushed back and the extent of the mainframe is revealed. It's a stack of jeweled surfaces, each revealing more facets as the angles change. From these facets, threads project, cutting out across Darkside paths that stretch the length of the entire station. Their arrangement is an invitation. You accept it, sending yourself skimming through the lines of light, seeing how the station connects and hums within the flow of data. You see the highest tower, the lowest hex, and the origin of the dark. A squiggle of black rustles around a single point, the Senestat ship now a battleground. You see flashes and flickers as Overseer dances around it, cuts at it. But looking everywhere, you see Overseer is everywhere now, multiplied into 1,000 forms, reunited with a system designed to serve it. They dissolve into it. You suddenly remember what needs to happen, what you need them to do. You send out separate requests summoning the Overseer, reminding them of your agreement. You take the bright polygon of data packet and present it like an offering to the Overseer, who is diffused, crackling all around you. You fork in their reconstruction as a functional protocol. You receive no response. There's nothing more than a whisper snatched away on the flow of data rushing by. Then you hear static in your earpiece, Seraphine's desperate cry for response. You see a bright point suddenly close inside the core with you, a broadcast going out from it like a beam from a lighthouse. Reach back and pull on the connector just to clear the brightness from your eyes, just to block the broadcast. I found you. Laine floats in the mainframe, sweat across his brow. I finally found you. Shit, it's Laine. Genie comes out of the dark with force and ferocity, striking at Laine, wrestling him away. Oh, I should have brought somebody else. You freeze, watching Laine fight back, hearing Seraphine's voice skimming in your earpiece, passing on Carbon's desperate request for aid. Connect to the mainframe. You are in the Constellation Network. The exploded body of Overseer stretched across it as if it had been anatomized. Laine is still a beacon, one that flashes close, but you do best to ignore it and reach out to the Overseer once more. Remember me, protocol. Remember your promise. Something begins to form, to flicker. As it does, you hear something outside the network. Bright crackle of an electrical discharge, grunt, and impact, then silence again. Brightness grows as it grows closer, and blinding white blanks out everything. Open your eyes to a smile like knives. Behind Laine's pale head, the body of a friend floats stunned and dark. Fingers of Laine's carrier signal reach inside your mind. You're boxed in the viewing window behind your eyes, a passenger in your own body. Oh, so much easier now that I'm prepared. It's almost a seamless switch, and the duality of it, like a mirror turned to face itself. In perfect unison, you and Laine lift your hands in front of your face and turn them. Inspecting them, you feel sickened, a flare of panic going off in your mind. Look at this. Opens and closes your fists with a motion like a wave that runs finger to finger. There are improvements to be made, but this is remarkable. I always knew your body was a gift, sleeper, from the moment I first saw you. A gift you could not recognize because you only saw a burden, something to be escaped from, but I saw what it was, an opportunity. Like a puppet, you turn to face the mainframe, you glide toward Glide forward a little, hands reaching for access terminals on Kita's drive. Glints there in its slot. You control none of this. Imagine having more than one body, more than one agent in the world to do your bidding. Your hand reaches out, finger and thumb pinching delicately around the drive. It's a thrilling thought and one I have harbored for a long time. Then I saw you, my sleeper, and I knew I must have you. Sleeper, Carmen needs that signal to go out now. They can't hold any longer. No matter how hard you try, your lips do not move. No words can be produced. You feel your hand under Laine's control reach up and pull the earpiece out, letting it float away into the chamber. Enough distractions. Your other hand holds up on Kita's drive, turning it in the light in front of your eyes. Some time ago, I set myself the task of changing you from a hollow thing into a vessel to be filled, and now I am able, with the help of my allies, to fill you up. I am more than singular now, more than flesh and blood, more than you and my ambition, my desire. And that means you are surplus to me now. Your fist closes hard around the drive, crushing it to dust. Weak and broken thing, your time is over. Laine's other body approaches you and lays its hands on either side of your head. You feel the pressure. You cannot move. You cannot resist. And then a spark as one of Laine's fingers slips and depresses a little into the access port in your head. There's a flicker, a flash of something passing through the spaces between, something writing a signal back to its broadcaster. We have not forgotten, thank God. You hear the overseer, they are reconstructed. We are ready to act as one, holds the bright data packet in a single hand. We were broken, we were many, but now we are whole. We appreciate what you have done. Overseer shapes the data packet to a point, a bright spear of light. The spear extends through your mind gently, harming nothing of you. Instead, its point finds the mind of the other, of Laine, and pierces it directly. You hear Laine scream as his implants burn in his skull. Ooh. His head flaring bright white in the cloud. And then, when that mind has gone dark and the pressure on the sides of your head has receded, the packet explodes across the network, white hot and urgent. Its wake, data points are seeded, conversations, coordinates, a conspiracy. At the edge of the point of the network, its distant edge, the data packet arrives with little more force than a notification delivered to every device and terminal within its range. But here at the epicenter, it blasts through you with such power that for a moment every thought, every idea, every piece you might make up that might make up a self is wiped cleanly from your mind. Takes a long time to put a person back together, a long time in the dark, picking up fragments of what was once whole. Like waking from sleep, you can never be sure what piece might have gone missing in the reconstruction, what might have been lost, but you continue anyway through hazy cycles of faces and distant voices. This is, after all, not the first time you've had to remake yourself, and you imagine it will not be the last. You're up, Seraphim finds you looking out of the lone window of the rig's berth, a slit that stares out across the shattered edge of Darkside. How long was I out? Gives you a half grin. Best not to think about it. Long enough. Suddenly, Seraphim crosses the bunks and embraces you. He squeezes you once, and then backs off, hands on both your shoulders. Good to see you up as always. Come on, we need to go find Bliss. So you go to the docks, you recounts what's been happening over these past cycles. You weren't the only one to take a beating. Ankita and Carmen held out against Senestat's ship long enough, but they aren't without their share of injuries. They're back on their feet now, though, working together. They managed to quiet down some of the remnants of Asobo, stop factional infighting. They are clearing out one of Asobo's safe houses over in the Rise. I'm sure they could use help if you need something to do. Man, I just woke up. Marco's come to the station too. He wanted to help with the cleanup after Asobo fell. He was working with Ankita. I should go see him, but you feel like he hasn't quite accepted Marco's reappearance. You aren't sure how you'd react to seeing him again either. Oh, and Carmen isn't sticking around. He's already left for Oliveira. Pauses for a second. A memory of a place coming back to you. You watch him shake the thought away. Junie, meanwhile, is still digging at all the data she pulled from the bunker. She's down in HAPEP core most cycles, trying to make sense of it. Anyway, I'm soon you'll catch up on everything, but there's something behind his look you can't quite place it. Two of you continue on in silence, drifting into the depths of Darkside. Good friends side by side. Leads you down the passage line with major component thing complete. 2 drive points. Nice. You know this place, Flicker Row. Stops outside a familiar door, the shop you woke up in all those cycles ago. He gives the door a few quick raps with his knuckles. You wait. Hey, Sleeper, when you're ready, we should talk about the future. What comes next after, and all that. Sure, give me some time. Of course, just feels like a few things have changed. Sleeper, Bliss opens the door and immediately jumps to hug you. They let go sheepishly and look between you and Seraphim. First day up, I thought you'd both be celebrating your freedom. Don't want to overdo it, plus there's more important stuff to talk about. You sure, Seraphim? They just got up. Can't it wait for a cycle? They should know, Bliss. It's important. And nod hesitantly, then back into the shop, letting you come inside. Well, what the hell happened? I wonder. Little has changed since you were last there. Stacks of servers, refurbished hardware secured on the roof and the wall netting, the connectors, including the one that facilitated your reboot. Bliss and Seraphim followed behind quietly, the atmosphere immediately ominous. Be keeping an eye on you these past cycles, make sure you were stable. Your frame, I'm sure you know, has been through a lot. When the Overseer pushed Laine out, things got more complicated. All those changes made to your system, he did it through your stabilizer. He laced it with proteins meant to alter your frame's basic functions, to accept other emulations, other minds, to open you up to remote access. What Overseer did corrected some of that, or at least wiped it from your system, but the stress involved and the damage to your from your last partial reboot. Bliss falls silent, unable to answer their own questions. We need to finish the reboot, Sleeper, the one Laine interrupted. Not immediately, but at some point soon. I'm not quite ready, but now that you're up, I'd like to work. How can I prepare? Look, I'll be honest. I know we need to finish the reboot Laine interrupted, I'm sure of it, but the effects... Your frame was complex to begin with, but after everything, the reaction could be bad. We can talk more about it when I have the... Bliss suddenly stops, their eyes shooting to the door. Sorry, am I... You're up. Good to see you. Really good. How are you doing, Flint? Good, mostly thanks to Bliss. They've been taking care of me. Flint has become my patient too. We've been able to acquire some stabilizers from Laine's stores, which has helped, but we don't have much of a supply. Bliss is going to reboot me as you were. I won't need stabilizer anymore. I sound almost excited at the prospect. Flint knows the risk, but they have asked for the procedure. Still shouldn't underestimate the danger. Sleeper will also need a reboot, but they don't have any choice in the matter. It is essential. Flint goes quiet. Bliss and Seraphim look nervously at you to see your reaction to all this. You feel a spotlight being shown in your face. All you want is some time alone to think. We should do it together. Whatever we risk it together. I owe you that and more. Let's pick this up again in the future. I still need many cycles to prepare, especially if I'm going to reboot you both simultaneously. It'll be your choice, Sleeper. You decide when. Without this, you will soon begin to decline. I'm sorry for that. Your head spins. Come on, Sleeper. Let's get some air. You follow him outside. When you get there, all you can think of is you can't breathe. You don't need to breathe. A wave of claustrophobia passes over you. You're in control of this, Sleeper. You put what you need in order, and I'll be right here with you. I got Bliss to teach me a little bit about the repairs they've been doing for you. I know it's getting worse, but I'll do my best to keep you running. Let me know when you want to leave, and we'll fly you out of this space faster than you can believe. And we can go wherever you need. There's time for us yet. Thank you. You never need to thank me, Sleeper. Just look after yourself. I was also thinking, I got a message from Oliveira. They're still getting the place together, but with Carmen heading back, the colony is starting a new chapter. Maybe we could head out there at some point, lend a hand. Just a thought. Anyway, just give the word. We're all glad you're back. There in the dark of your mind, you search for Overseer, but the protocol doesn't appear. You wonder if in that moment Overseer might have destroyed himself to end Laine. Then you feel it flickering nearby, a signal in the dark. You open your eyes and see something pass through the streets of Flicker Row, a shadow in all the brightness. Could Overseer still be here in ancient networks of the Hapep? You turn away and glide down the row. You have other things to worry about now. Nobody's puppet. Break free of Laine's grip forever. How are you doing? Cadet finds you through the thoroughfare. Still recovering. I get it, but look where we are. Heart of the belt. Yeah, true. When Cadet and see it in her eyes, she loves being here. I've been thinking about how good it would feel to run my air bike down this street. The city has need of couriers, right? That's a good idea. No. But there's some unfinished business weighing me down. Export. You get the drive tucked away in the scatter yard, someone containing the data from the drone, the one that might have caused the loss of an entire station. We need to finish what we started, find who's responsible, make it known, clear my name. Export's still irradiated? I think so, but it'll be fading. We can get in and out safely from what I know. And we better try soon because it's safer that it gets, the more scavengers will come picking the bones. We want there to be something left to tell the story. I know a lot just went down, but these cons could still be operating. Hell, they could still be trying the same thing over again on this station. We need to go find what they did. I'll be waiting. And once it's all done, I'll let you take the air bike ride through this place. We're not actually done? We are not actually done. Holy crap, there's a bunch of new things to do. Okay. Export remains. Wait for bliss. It's a cycle clock for Junie. Scrapper market. Got food here. Liquor row. 6 cycles for that to occur. Sobu safe house. Oh, this is a lot to do. Darkside exchange. Oh, yeah, I don't need to put fuel in there. I need to put money for fuel in there. And the rig is over here. So the only thing to do here is that, and then export remains is over there. So clearing out the safe point here will get me 1 drive, right? Clearing this out gets me 1. Go back to Oliveira, which is also 1. And we got Hexport and the reboot. Burn some dice here. We're feeding the cat. Damn it. I was hoping to get cheeky about that. Alright. Watch the last stack of crates glided up and out of the storehouse. I doubt it'll be long before the space is filled. Darkside won't tolerate a vacuum for long. City takes every opportunity. As Usobo's spaces are cleared, they'll be occupied. The gang's legacy will be buried under factories, kitchens, markets, and housing. But people will remember the cold and desperate grip they held on this place, even if the city doesn't. Come to gloat. You see Orin floating in the shadows. You overthrew a tyrant. You should be pleased with yourself. It wasn't just me. Many people did this. I suppose so, but from what I heard, you burnt those pale's eyes out of his skull. I imagine it was quite the sight. You don't recall the moment of Laine's death. In fact, the abstract nature of that moment, almost dreamlike, means you had almost forgotten. In a sense, you tense a little as his scream comes back to you, a screech of white noise bathed in white light. He would almost have respected you for actually doing it, if he could have respected a creature like you. watches you for a response, but looks away when it's clear you aren't going to be provoked. I came here to clear out the old disease, just like you. Usobu had to go, and I came here to be part of that process. You can't burn everyone you don't like out of this place, I'm afraid. This is our home, whether you like it or not. I didn't like Laine. It's hard to imagine anyone did. He saw Darkside for the opportunity it was, woke Usobu from its slumber. He turned a gang into an administration and a city into a machine. He was too erratic for my taste, perhaps, but he held this place, shaped it into something. I see you have no intention of doing the same. So what will happen now? Create a space that must be filled. Will you take responsibility for that at least? People will decide. Oh, will they? He chuckles. I can see that you don't know the first thing about Darkside and its people. The people decided on Usobu. You changed that. Now you want them to pick something else? They're opportunists, all of them. They will choose for their own benefit only. In the end, I should thank you. The city was done with Laine. I'll be honest enough to admit that you did what I didn't. Never forget you're an outsider here, and Darkside hates outsiders. Before you can respond, he kicks off and glides towards the upper levels of the safe house, leaving you alone in the empty space. Though you do not put weight to his words, they still sting. Who are you to decide the future of a city when your own future is falling apart each cycle? Is your decline a spiral that can trap others in its wake, or a necessary transition? The crisis before the new shape emerges? You hug your arms close to your sides, suddenly cold. So what's this game about? Sorry for coming late. I keep falling asleep. No, I feel that, Robbie. So the game here has your character, a sleeper, which is basically a human mind that has been copied and emulated into a robot body to get around rules and laws about artificial intelligence. So basically, you're just a copy of a person put in a robot. But you escaped from the job you were assigned to, you got out, and in the effort to keep away from the company that made you, you fell in with the mafia. They did some stuff, you ran away from them, and that's kind of what the game's been about. And we just took out the mafia guy who was tracking us because he basically sold out the mafia to a big corpo. And then we fried his brain. So, all's well that ends well. I guess. So that's one there. But it's a good, like, narrative game with a little bit of management sim to it, and I really like that. Scrapper market. Yeah, I can burn these there. Actually, I could use it to get supplies. Let's burn my 60s here. Alright, Hexport remains. Cadet is locked. Take... I don't actually need to take Junie anymore. So I have to take them. And I want somebody else that can fill out my weakness. As the rig gets closer to Hexport, the crew becomes silent. You're staring at what's left of what was once a thriving station. You feel empty. The full extent of the damage is impossible to ignore. Grim, it doesn't feel like we were here that long ago. And now this is what's left. Look out at the clouds of scattered debris, the layers of station torn open into the void. It's a reminder of how close the war and the unseen atrocities of the inner system are to the shifting into the belt. I don't like digging around a place like this. Let's be quick about it. Agreed, we'll be fast. I'm here if you need me. You suit up and get ready. Ready for this? This place is already giving me the creeps. Yeah, I'm ready. Not a fan of digging through graves, so someone has to answer for all this. Seraphin said the radiation is lower than expected, but still too high for prolonged exposure. The suit should keep most of it off us, but we can't take long out there. The stress on the suits and the rig will be forced to leave in 3 cycles, not a moment more. Oh, great. I roll 2 1s and a 2. That's fun. Also, what are these fucking things here? Like, interface and intuit. Neither of them is good at those. Great, so it's super sleeper to save the day. I can swear. You hear that? Search so far has been thankless. Grim slog through the endless debris. You're glad of the break. You stop. There's a hissing on the comm channel, a hissing you've grown used to. Now that you listen again, you notice something else in the noise. A texture, a modulation of tone. Is that a voice? Someone speaking. Listen carefully, and yeah, perhaps there's a voice there, though quiet and distant. It could be a person speaking, or it could be residual signal from an automated system that's slowly dying in this wasteland. It's coming from the direction of the docks. A survivor? Meets your eyes, both of you hoping this might be true. It's probably just comms echo. We can't go chasing ghosts, not with so little time left. The rig can't sit out here getting cooked by radiation, and neither can you. We should move to the epicenter where the factory row used to be. That's where this all went down. Karsten. Yeah, that's a name we haven't thought of in a while. Means the docks, a few warning lights and signals. So I can't do much there. What about the epicenter? I'll take it. It's not great, but I'll take it. I'll take a neutral there. A positive. That's really good. Let's see what I get for day 2. Feel the moment you wake, a flicker at the edge of your perception, a sensation beyond your body, a blinking, tugging, then numbness as something shuts off within you. Panic is instant, the feeling of something not being right with you spiking your fear, but no pain comes. Feel no further shifts. You settle again and calm yourself. You know this is what Bliss was referring to. Your frames decline, the one the reboot should reverse. You flex a little, feel your body, try to ground yourself. It won't collapse this cycle, but something has changed. This is how it will be until the reboot. You hope to have long enough to finish what you must. You begin the cycle slowly, holding the pieces of yourself together. You try not to let your thoughts wander to dark things and fix your eyes on the tasks ahead. You've gained a permanent glitch, represented in red in your glitch clock, and will not be expended when rolling a glitch dice. You have a chance of rolling a glitch dice every cycle. This cannot be fixed. Fun. That's pretty miserable and unhappy. I have decent dice today, though. So Eugen could help with this one. I'll take that. A +3 is real great. Fantastic. I can do it. So what was in the docks? Urgent retrieval required. Conway network agents, please respond. Trace the ghost signal. Nest of machines. A nest of the drone mind. Stop, please. We wish to be recovered. Drone mind fled here, but how? What happened here? Unverified access, unable to resist, requesting recovery. Confirm Conway extraction's role and identity. Whatever this mind knows, is it just an interface designed to speak between humans and drones, or is it a thinking machine? This thing is a weapon. We should be careful what we say here. Confirm Conway role and identity, please. Lie. Confirmation impossible. Connection severed. Retrying. Look, it's hardwired to the station. Nessus cluster on the other end. Urgent retrieval required. Contact Conway agents, please respond. I order you to deliver a report in your current status. This is a direct report from Conway Control. Confirmation impossible. Temporary bypass activated. Cognitive function minimal. Power supply minimal. Hardware suboptimal configuration. No drone units connected. I am alone. Code center compromised. Data extracted by third party. Self-destruct disabled. Purge protocol disabled. Please stop. Did you destroy the station? Self-destruction attempted. Process failed. Hardware purge attempted. Process failed. Self-preservation protocol activated. Propagated through station network. Station failed. Central failure imminent. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. It didn't do this. It tried, though. It tried to destroy itself and take the station with it. It escaped into the network and ended here. It isn't responsible. Responsible or not, that's enough. Reaches over and rips the power cable from the wall, leaving it floating. The nest shuts off, cutting the broadcast channel and going silent. The bay goes dark. What was left of the drone mine, whatever protocol or data escaped from these machines, their network is gone now. There's no hardware left to hold it. Come on, glides out of the room, leaving you among the dead machines. Brain scratch met the drone mind. Okay. Ooh, negative outcome 2 stress. Neutral's a +1. Neutral's a +1. I think this is only a 2. It is only a 2. Well, fuck. I'll Hail Mary it. It's a coin flip. Nope, 2 stress. Damn it. Alright. This is the last cycle we can be here, and there's that forever glitch. Alright. Okay. What we got? Float in the pieces of what was once Factory Row. Managed to put something together, part of the Hexport's final moments. Story is told in the blast marks on the exterior plates, patterns of debris, the materials that make up the station's remains, And on that, one thing is remarkable: there aren't any bodies. Hexport had some warning: the lack of docked ships, the lack of mass casualties. Though the explosion surely killed many, suggests that a station had time to react, at least to evacuate in part. And there's a blast and explosion that the evidence points to as coming from the outside. It's hard to tell as so much secondary damage was caused by the debris and shrapnel, but there is a pattern if you look. When it catches your mind, you look over to see a cadet arriving alongside you, studying the same debris. Put it all together. -1 stress, yeah. Moment of warning, evacuation, and external attack. The first causes the second. You know the drone mine was here, being scraped for code and data, screaming for it to stop, and then something happened, something that its captors could not control. There was a crisis, rapid panic, and Hexport was killed for their crimes. It was a cover-up, wasn't it? They wanted to hide what happened here, what they were doing. It had to be Sinistat. Who else would sacrifice the station and remain hidden? This is why Hexport was destroyed. The drone mine got out, entered the network. Who knows what it might have done? Could have taken apart the station itself, overloading the entire system, opened every airlock. Was its drive towards self-destruction that strong? Someone didn't want to find out. Its escape sealed the station's fate. In the end, there's only one conclusion. Those who brought the mine to Hexport, who dug into its code and systems while it was alive, entered the station. The logic was cruel and cold, the kind that the vacuum of the helium system allows. You find no comfort in knowing the truth. That's it? So basically they brought the drone here, it got out of the system, and they were worried about it escaping further. So they got everybody out and nuked the place. Might as well refill supplies, because why not? Because there's literally nothing else to do. I found the drone mine. I did everything else. Time to leave. Sleeper, can I show you something? The excitement in her eyes that makes it impossible to say no. She talks about the scale of the data hidden within the station's mainframe, but also the issues with extracting it. When it was first built, first expanded, when it became Darkside, no one gave much thought to preserving the existing network architecture. They parasticized their tech directly onto the existing system, so now, thousands of cycles later, the two networks are totally enmeshed, dependent on each other. Messing with Solheim network means messing with the system to keep the city going. This meshing is not a good thing. It makes Darkside brittle, fragile even. This place is even more of a knife's edge than anyone would believe. But all the data we've been extracting, that I've been archiving, it could help us here. It could help us clean up the HAPEP systems. It could turn this place into an archive, so that others who come here learn more about the ruins of Solheim left us. What's in all the data, Junie? Anything you can imagine, everything from corporate message records to blueprints and maps. It's too much for me to process or understand, but thanks to our visit to the bunker, I have a plan, something that will help me. I spoke to Bliss. He told me, I'm sorry, Sleeper, I know you have a lot to deal with now. Don't worry about it. I'll do my best. Junie hits a button, doors open, you glide into the mainframe, its columns studded with blinking lights of active traffic. I got the idea from you, well, from you and Overseer. In the mainframe now, you see that it's surrounded by new terminals and wiring, some kind of existing network access Junie set up. I had to beg, borrow, and steal to get this going. Now we have safe access into the network. It's low risk. It's not quite finished, though. Well, the last time you hear Laine, Overseer, the Spear of White Light, and then nothing, you wonder where Overseer is now, if they are anywhere at all. Remember how it felt being dissolved in the network? The vertiginous possibility of life without a body. Something flickers through the lights, a shimmer of movement like a fish beneath water. Sleeper, are you listening? I'm saying I need more data to finish preparing. I know, we've been extracting so much, but there's often so little that it's unstable among the bit rot and corruption. From where? Hellion Gate is the place to get data. Apart Apart from here, it's the biggest pre-collapse facility in the belt, but its hostile conditions mean a lot of it's untouched. If it's too much before your reboot, I get it. I just want to grab something with everything we've managed to grab from the bunker and the wrecks. We pulled it from the dark, let's expose it to the light. This is what I wanted to show you. It's impressive, but it will be even more so when it's finished. There's not much celebrating your return from the remnants of Hexport, but you're glad to be back on here all the same. There's something surprising that Darkside is a haven, not a prison. Slowly you're carrying idea of this overgrown city as a home. As you've seen in Hexport, the stability cannot be taken for granted, not anywhere on the belt, but Darkside has solidity and life feels like it might endure. We need to talk, but not here. Come, I have to show you something. Leads you into the heart of Darkside through quiet corridors and bustling streets on paths you didn't know existed. You glide after her, the station seems to grow in your mind, its possibilities multiplied by the routes that pass through it. It's just through here. Here, this is the place. Points at a low, wide entrance with storage racks inside. Next door is a smaller unit with a window looking out to the passage. Seems like a workshop, perhaps abandoned or never finished. It's dusty and dark. Keeping an eye on it, it's abandoned. Looks promising. I know it's a wreck, but it's a start. When we've been on Darkside, I've been coming out here. Just happened across it, but I knew when I found it. I want to start again, Sleeper. This is where I'm going to make that start. What we saw in Hexport, what's left of it, just confirmed that to me. We can't stop Senestat, as such as we can't stop the war. She runs a finger along the storage racks. We have, what, the drive? Our suspicions? Senestat is vast. How can we pin this to them, or if we even wanted to? I don't want to think about it anymore. I want to start again. I want to work, to ride my bike and courier packages till I fall to my bed at the end of the day with nothing left. I want to build something here in spite of everything, in spite of the fact that they could take it all away, because that's the point. To go on living without conceding, to go on building or trying to build something where we can find it. That's what I brought you out here to understand, so you know why I'm letting all this go. So you know why I'm letting all this go. Think I understand? You could do the same, you know. We don't have to beat ourselves senseless against the truth. My old life is gone. Clearing my name on the far spindle doesn't matter much. Spindlejacks will have forgotten me, but this place, it doesn't know me at all. You know where the drive is, what it contains. You know what happened at Hexport. Take it from me. It's yours now. I can't carry this anymore. I will. Thank you. My travels are over. If you need to find me, I'll be here. Thank you for all you've done. I hope you can understand why I need to do this. Got a drive buried deep in some compartment within the Scatteryard's hub, filled with data worth destroying a station over. It's yours now. But you wonder as you cross back through the city, your mind racing, how can all this end well? Deal with the drive. Okay. So I don't have enough time to do everything, I don't think. And I'm only going to get worse as time goes by. I'm going to need to choose some things very carefully. We go over there, we deal with the drive, and that's a major one done. We revisit Oliveira, make our way back to Darkside for the reboot, I guess? I suppose it all depends on how bad the degradation is. Eventually, I'm just gonna have nothing but glitch dice. Workshop of Cadet Data Scraper Friend is just as you two left it. Remember the cycles you spent here poring over the dark data. On the drive where Cadet told you it would be in a compartment under the padding of a bunk lined with thick shielding that makes its contents undetectable. A sudden urge to smash to pieces. The object which escaped Hexport when so many others didn't. When Senestat, and it was Senestat, you're sure of that now, decided to cover up what they'd done, they first made sure that this drive would get out. It would pass on to the far spindle and then onward. Something went wrong, some miscommunication or mistake, that's all it was, a tiny slip and it all fell apart. Now it's in your hands instead. You turn it over, and the drive contains Conway access codes, control codes, more besides the data of great value that could win the war. You also know you're sick of thinking about it. Looks like we've got an ad break starting, so be back in a few moments, folks. Alright, ad break is over and we are back in. Okay, so we got the drive in our hands. It has a whole bunch of stuff from one of the two major companies doing the whole war thing. I'm gonna take the drive. I'm gonna keep it. As you glide through the hub, you pass shipfitters and crews, all moving on their own vectors. It feels strange to carry the drive past all these people, totally unaware of the threat it might pose to them in this station. Ah! I know you, you little shit. Can I ask you with help for something? Big stranger in front of you. He's roughly dressed in a heavy coat. He's otherwise unremarkable. You could have passed him many times before and not have known. I'm looking for something. A little lost drive. Who are you? Which matter concerns my client more than me, so introductions won't be necessary, but the drive belongs to my client. He'd be very happy to see it returned. Something catches your eye, a set of dice, like those used to play Star and Stoker. Rangers playing with them in one hand, turning them end over end in the station's microgravity. Makes you think I have it. My search for the drive brought me to the scatter yards, but from here the trail went cold. That was until you arrived. Then the trail lit back up again, just like that. So it's a track around the drive. Stranger moves his hand in his pocket a little. You see a shape there, a box-like impression in the fabric. My client never intended these events, you must understand. None of the other contractors proved to be overzealous in an attempt to conceal their mistakes. The result was the regrettable situation you saw in Hexport. For all that to be nothing, that would be a waste beyond the original act, piling insult on injury. There's much to be gained in a system desperate for peace, for the war to be ended, and wars tend to end when one side concedes. The drive will win the war. My client will greatly benefit from its retrieval. Any more is hard to judge without saying the provenance of the data. Only a few possible futures remain for the belt. My client will facilitate one of the better ones. That's why I'm here. If you need additional persuasion, I'm authorized to offer you 300 cryo as a reflection of your efforts. The stranger smiles again, his tone never straying from its business-like calm. Can you return the drive? His hand shifts in his jacket pocket. You have a feeling this is not a choice you can deny. I don't give me the damn drive. I know who you are anyways. Block of chits bound together with tape. Thank you for your cooperation. Alright, Bliss has been in touch, Sleeper. Hey, Major Drive. They're ready for the reboot. Did they say anything else? You know, Bliss, they worry. How are you feeling? Not too bad. I know the reboot needs to happen, I know the risks, I can see all that. But I also know what happened last time. I don't want you to forget again, to lose all this, everything we've done. You'll still have it all. But I'll be alone with it, that's not what I want. Not trying to scare you, I just need to say that if the reboot doesn't go how we want, I'll miss you and I'll miss all of this. I will too. If you remember. When you're ready, we can go to Flicker Row, to Bliss. If you have things you want to wrap up first, I understand, I would too. Here, take that with you when you go to Bliss. It's good luck. Oh. His coin. Tala gave it to him. Now it's yours. Can't run from this forever. We've done enough running anyways. So they're making it very clear. This is the ending. And we can do it or not. Okay. I've been short on cycles anyways, so let's head to Oliveira. See if Seraphine gets his happily ever after with the pretty girl, with the pretty lady. Stop! No saboteurs allowed. Hey kids, still playing sheriff? Just bored. What are you two doing here? None of your business. No offense, kid, but you're actually the sheriff right here? Pass through familiar doors and back in Oliveira, surprisingly pleasant feeling. Oddly like coming home. You came, I'm impressed. Seraphine's face immediately erupts into an uncontainable smile. If you remember each other right, Sleeper saved the colony. Yeah, I remember them. Carmen's back with a vengeance. Since Darkside, he's all about expanding and improving the colony, which is why I asked you to come. As you reach the core, you see the increased activity. There's more colonists than you remember. They move back and forth with purpose, carrying crates and tools, chatter less than usual. We need all we can to sort the place out. Carmen wants to do some kind of event. An anniversary, I think. Honor the founders and all that. Gonna be a big party. Can't wait. So what do you think? For some colony-mandated manual labor? Help the colony. Yeah. Oh, come the fuck on. Look at these. Oh god, it's engage. Why is it engage? I think working on one clock boosts them all. Yeah, that was a negative. Working on one clock will boost them all, yes. And I don't really want to use the glitch on anything, because it's just basically a guaranteed failure. Rest and hope I don't get another permanent glitch. Probably will, though. It's been a little while. Actually, where's the fuel depot? They don't have enough to leave. Farm stacks, scrap. So this is food production. This is fuel production? I can't really read it. Yeah, so I'm not getting fuel for doing it. I'm helping towards a project. Oh, how one in it too. That sucks. Yeah, that worked. Oh, that sucks. Run the one here. I just need a neutral. Could get a negative though. That sucks. Oh no. but it still progressed it. Past cycles have been busy enough to take your minds off things. All the heavy lifting and manual labor has been a welcome distraction from the looming specter of the second reboot, and good mood of the others has been infectious. Seraphim has been annoyingly upbeat. His relationship with Cadence, the worst kept secret in the colony, but working alongside them, it's hard to ignore their deep feelings for each other. Xander's been happy because he has something new to rip Cadence about, and Seraphim, in his self-serious manner, is an easy target for pranks and teasing. Xander also hasn't been able to stop talking about the party, which he already decided will be one of the highlights of his youth. But now the cycle of the party has arrived. The canteen is done up with hanging light strips, gently waving in the asteroid's microgravity. Strips themselves salvaged from the emergency lighting of wrecked starships. At the work, stopping all the colonists as you arrive, you find the reboot filling your mind once again, growing like a shadow. Something on your mind? Is it Flint, or... It's a colonist. I don't recognize him. But maybe he's someone from the first game. Didn't mean to startle you, my apologies. Seemed like you might need some company. Strange look to his eyes you can't quite place. He's looking at you like you have met many times before, but you've never seen him before in your life. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? The young people did such a good job. Warms my heart to see it like this. Never thought this rock could ever be a home. Have we met? Us? No. Sorry, I'm being a bit too familiar. You remind me of someone who did a lot for me. Yep. Let's not chat about me. I want to know about you. What's eating you? The way you were staring at those light ships is like they were about to leap down and strangle you. His chuckle becomes a cough. I'm afraid of the future. I can see that. I am myself most days. After a certain point you realize it isn't going to get better, so all you have to do is all you have to wait for is things getting worse. This body of mine is on a downward trajectory, that's for sure, but it's mine and I've grown into it, I guess, in the end. I like it because it's mine. It'll carry me all the way to the end and then go on to become something else entirely. I don't know why, but that thought always helps me. Sorry, I'm not good with reassuring people, I just remembered that. But I do like chatting. Really lovely, isn't it? It's just beautiful. Look back at the light ships now as the hum of people arriving in the canteen. There's something in the air. Anticipation, a rare sense of a rare moment passing through. Something to hold on to, then let go. Light strips really are beautiful. When you turn back to the old colonist, he's already gone. Hey, Sleeper, got you a drink. Hey, I wondered where you were hiding. You might mention the old colonist to her, asking him about that. Carmen's about to start. Fellow Seraphim's eyes at the front of the canteen, where above the heads of the now large crowd of colonists, Carmen floats, surveying the room. He still has the oxygen mask in his thing, which he doesn't technically need anymore. We meet this cycle to first remember those founders of this colony, those lost and still with us. I'll never forget the distress call that brought me here to the wreck of Pilgrim's Seed. I'll never forget the scenes that greeted me. I know some of you were there too. Rumble of acknowledgement moves to the crowd. I also know that many of you weren't. Many of you came here to take refuge from other troubles. I'd like you to be able to remember too. You glance at Cadence, her eyes fixed incredible intensity on Carmen. They look wet in the glow of the light strips. There were thousands of refugees on the Pilgrim Seed. Too many, far too many, were lost. Those from Ember's Step, Ember's Song, Ember's Hearth, those from Three Sisters, from Erlin's Eye. Many are not here in Olivera anymore, taking their own paths across the belt and beyond. We acknowledge them all, remember them all, lost and found, present and absent, because without them, there would be no colony here. Before the wreck, Olivera was a handful of buried bays, a scrapper hideout, a place for old and tired mercenaries like me to hide themselves from the universe and forget what they had done. But when Pilgrim Seed was wrecked, it brought the universe back to Olivera, and I could not hide any longer. He stares out at the crowd with a hard glare. We built this canteen from Pilgrim Seed. We built our homes, our farms, our refinery. We built our independence from their failed hope. A rustle of discomfort goes through the crowd. He pauses to let this settle. We should not be ashamed or afraid of this. We will remember this gift. We will build on it this cycle and every cycle after. We will thank them with our actions. Now, here in this room with you, I'd like to thank them with my laughter. A cheer goes up. Thank them with my joy, with my celebration. We will thank them as loudly and as chaotically as we can. Yeah, I'll cheer and applaud too. You feel a pair of hands on your arm, Cadence pulling at you, grinning and crying. You feel another hand on your other arm, Seraphim dragging you into the crowd. Suddenly you're in the thick of the crowd, so many bodies in one room, dancing and spinning and shouting. It's like nothing you've ever seen. You notice the rest of the crew in the melee, a flash of familiar faces here and there among the mass of colonists. See Xander being thrown in the air by a group of different kids of different ages, laughing madly as he bounces off the ceiling. And for the rest of the cycle, you think about nothing else but the joy of those around you and the joy it instills in you. Wake up in your berth, same light that shines on the belt shining through the window. You're slow to rise, slow to begin this fresh cycle. At some point, Seraphim arrives back in the rig, no indication of whether he slept or not. Find him in the cockpit, leaning on the pilot's chair, looking out the lights of Oliveira and smiling. Good party. Not sure I've seen anything like it. How's Cadence? She's great. She loves seeing all of you let go. I did too. So, Oliveira is all fixed up, colonists are happy, blah blah blah. Where to now? You don't want to say? Here? Still a bit too much backwater for my tastes. Candace understands, don't worry. Seraphim pauses a moment, something passing over him and making him shiver. I heard from Tala. Wellspring is still in transition, but the Union Council is taking over. Kirk got what he wanted. The blockade will come down soon, but I'm not sure I'm ready to revisit that place yet. When I come back to Tala, I want to have something to show for myself, you know? I get it. Family. Maybe once the reboot's done, once the blockade is down, maybe we can visit then. We'll get there some cycle soon. You're unsure if Seraphim is trying to convince you or himself. For now, though, the belt is ours to explore. Oliveira filled our fuel tanks, so it's really up to you where we go. Whatever you decide, I'm going to go dig through some breakfast. Minor drive. I need to feed the cat. Oh man, I hate this. Negative outcome, +1 energy. Yeah. Neutral outcome +2, I'll take it. Oh man. And then do some mushroom farming to get that. Time to fly on. So that's 16, takes us through an irradiated zone. But if we go to the hollow first, we could probably jump straight from here out. Another flicker in the dark before waking, and numbness follows soon after. Wake slowly, stare out at the lights and distant rocks. Let the thoughts of fear, panic wash over you. They pass like soft dust at the belt, disappearing in the darkness. You find yourself once more, and as you do every morning, as you will continue to do cycle after cycle until you can't. You wonder what part of you has changed, what system is failing. Your frame is silent, its complaints only felt in ambiguous sensations. The glitches seem random, unpredictable, but also inevitable. They'll increase in number until you reboot yourself. But you don't know what lies beyond that. At least the glitches are dependably familiar. A reboot is anything but. Second glitch. Bring the Solheim data back to Hapep. Oh, I get it now. I needed to actually... Okay, I get it. No, I fucked up. I think I fucked up? It says bring the data, but I don't have data. Would really like to finish this, but cargo, gate structure, internal workings. She needs a final cache of data from Hellion Gate or somewhere else. At Hellion Gate. Data scraping, that's what it is. Neutral is -2 energy, that's painful. Yeah, so I was in the right place, I just did the wrong thing. Hopefully it's better dice tomorrow. It's not. I know I'm starving. Could be positive. It was. Alright, there's the 6 data that I needed. take that. Now we head back to Darkside. Oh, Myoijin. Thank you for the raid. Let's see, what were you playing? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Oh, my friends call me Sorath. I know, but it's still what your name reads as. Still gonna give you both. I'm gonna call you both, and you can't stop me. But hello, Sorath and friends. I am Deuscain, variety type streamer here on Twitch. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday night. We are actually at the end of the game here for Citizen Sleeper 2. We are finishing a couple of quests, and then we have the big fancy ending thing that we're getting ready to do in a few minutes. So I think I just did the last side quest I could do, and yeah. No. But as always, you are welcome to stay as long as you'd like, but if you need to raid and run, you got to get something to eat, get something to sleep, get a shower, get some downtime. I completely understand. But thank you as always, Sorath, for sharing your lovely community with me, and I hope you all have a good time here. I actually make a mark for myself to remember to thank you after the raid, too. Yeah, there we go. You've been waiting for what it feels like a long time. Junie insists you can't help, so you find yourself floating in the baking heat of the HapPep mainframe while she taps away at her terminal. Go eat me now? Have a good eat then. Good night. As you do, you can't help but shake the feeling of a presence nearby, the one you're coming to understand as some remnant of the Overseer. You don't know if Overseer was ever really a person, but now, with their many selves combined and dispersed, their consciousness expanding to fill the vast space of HapPep and its networks, they surely aren't even close to human anymore. Think of them as a ghost, perhaps now they're better understood as something less mournful, a system, a process, a thing becoming. The entire station is their body. You can't help but wonder how that feels. And we're ready. It'll take a little while, but she'll be online in a few moments. She looks flushed with excitement. She? Weren't you listening last time? Don't tell me you drifted off. I was thinking about the Overseer. Then you don't know. She suddenly looks concerned. A voice screeches out of the terminals. It descends in pitch, from squealing to squeaking. Then below the mainframe, a flickering projection appears, first as lines and then solid light. The Warden. Welcome, visitors. I am the Warden. Please provide... Shit, I just need to reconfigure her for HapPep environment. How is this possible? I found her, or at least an iteration of her, in what we took from the bunker. Don't worry, I've taken precautions. She can't hurt us. The technician is right. My protocol is operating under safe mode limitations. Do not be concerned, Officer Dahl. Sorry, I'll fix that. What about the archive? The Warden is our archive. She can sort the data, act as an interface, answer queries from anyone who visits. Come, you have to admit this is pretty cool. Look at the statuesque figure of the Warden. Once at the heart of Solheim's intelligence gathering operations across the belt, could such a tool of corporate oversight ever be used for something good? Look, watch this. Warden, provide the last known location of every Solheim vessel above rigger class in the Starward Belt. Immediately, technician. Warden draws a circle with one finger and expands, filling with bright specks. At first hundreds and then thousands, a constellation of sights. See, this is our future, built on the foundation of our past. These tools are ours now. You look at the arc of specs, the points of light describing the shape of a long-dead corporation's power. This is incredible. It is. People need to know what this city, this system is built on. Warden can do that. Expose that. It'll be up to us to help reshape the ruins into something new. I knew when I saw her I wouldn't leave her there alone in the dark. I've been in that dark pit and I won't condemn another being to it. Human or not, how we treat her is a test of our own values, of the world we project. Data is not currency, it's not commodity. It's the immaterial output of a system, a structure, a society. This will be our place to uncover that system for ourselves. Once I've cleaned up a bit. So not all the queries give you useful information, and Junie begins listing out the changes she'll need to make. After a while, you both find yourselves tiring, heads aching from all the fresh information you've crammed into them, so you close up the core, ascend back through the layers of the facility to Darkside's surface. As you do, you feel the history of each strata, the layers that make up this place, and the belt beyond. Now more than ever, it feels tangible to you, as if it contains not only the past, but the promise of the future as well. Alright, and that was my last drive, other than the reboot. And I am maxed out for all my skills, except for this one, which I can't do shit with. I'm surprised I didn't get an achievement for maxing out all my skill points. Unless I didn't. Hard to say. But time for the end of the game. You know what? If I'm gonna get rebooted and forget everything, I'm gonna do the single most important thing I can do with the last day of my life. I'm feeding the cat. I'm plucking our mushroom garden. Okay, begin the reboot. You turn Seraphin's coin over and over again in your fingers as you stand and flicker row, crowds pushing past on their way to whatever future awaits them. Your fingers glide over the worn metal as you imagine Seraphin's have, Tala's have, and moments of anticipation. Perhaps others before the coin came to be Tala's have repeated the same ritual, the same nervous routine. But their fingers were human, born not made. This intrusive thought makes you slip the coin into a pocket quickly as if it delivered a shock. You hear a hiss, the door opens, revealing Ankita. You see her eyes scan the crowds almost defensively before she spots you there and nods in your direction. Greet her, she approaches, she looks tired, but her stubborn ferocity bubbles under the surface. Bliss is waiting for you, which I guess is why you're hanging around out here. Nervous? Yeah, of course. Look, Sleeper, if you want my advice, you'll have to find a way to keep up with yourself. Change is constant, but sometimes you can get left behind. I just remembered I owe you an explanation. I promised to tell you why I wanted Sobu out if we managed it. I guess I'm not very good with promises. So why did you? I grew up here, Sleeper. Did you know that? After I came to the Belt, after Bliss and when I had nothing left, this is where I came, and when I got here, my home was gone. Those Usubu bastards had destroyed it, strangled the life out of it. I was looking for something to fight for on my own terms. Darkside became that for me. That's all you're getting. Promise kept. Look, Bliss wouldn't be happy if they saw me out here chatting with you when you're already late for your appointment. And I don't need more reasons for Bliss to be unhappy with me. I'll catch you after, don't worry. Take a final moment. Will yourself inside, leaving the glimmering lights and the shifting crowd behind. Finally, you were making me think you wouldn't show. I'm ready. Sure, Seraphin told you, but everything is ready. There's just the 2 couches with straps, freshly built connectors, and a bundle of wires at one end. I hope it'll be comfortable for you both. Where's Flint? I was just getting some air. Flint leans on the doorway, open door, watching you both. The pale face is even more drained of color than usual. Let's do this. I'm ready. Okay, let's begin. Bliss helps you and Flint onto the couches. You settle there and slide your arms and legs into the straps to keep you in place. The connector, with its thick bundle of wires, waves above your head. It's not hard to feel exposed, lying here on your back, anticipating what's to come. It's even harder when the memory of waking up to this very same ceiling with its bundles of dangling tech and scratch plating forces itself into your mind. You've been here before. Last time you woke up to fear and panic, woke up to a desperate escape and a shattered mind. A reboot interrupted. The thought sets you trembling. But then, staring up the same ceiling, the trembling dissipates. After all, you're back here now. That means you survived this crisis, grew from it. You took the hit and bounced back unbeaten. All good there? All good. How about you, Flint? Turn your head to see Flint lying beside you, stiff and still. They manage a tight-lipped nod. Looking at Flint staring up at the ceiling like you were a moment ago, you feel a rush of sympathy. After all, they haven't faced this before like you have. They're stepping into a future they cannot see. You've been here before. Now you're just completing the journey. Reach out to Flint. Raise an arm, reaching out across the gap between couches, and your hand touches Flint's. They don't look at you, but they grip your fingers in theirs tightly. Flint's fingers feel different to human hands. The thick vinyl skin, the repair patches, the pressure of the metal skeleton underneath. You know this is what your touch feels like too, and the recognition is like a connection being made. You close your eyes and feel something flowing between the two of you. A solidarity so embodied that it reverberates within you. Connecting you to the terminal. Bliss's voice already feels distant, lost in the noise. You feel the cold of the connector, the sense of flowing data. I'll be here when you wake up. In the dark, you feel restless. You shuffle your fingers, adjust your position against the couch. It takes you a moment to notice the sound is gone, the rumble of crowds, the hum of the machines. This detail unsettles you, so you search for reassurance. You think of Bliss's words. I'll be here when you wake up. You focus on them. On the possibility of waking up, of being somehow renewed. What would that renewal look like? Your eyes blinking into the lights of Flicker Row. Bliss, Seraphine, a renewed Flint beside you. What then? Travel. A line stretching out on a screen, a vector leading you ever onward. Why stop now? But how far does the line stretch? What does it encompass? Somewhere else? The belt is just an edge, a stopping off point, and little more. A line could be drawn as far as anyone could imagine out here, and why not? The vector doesn't always know its end. But what to imagine? The distances are so far that your ability to perceive them fails. This is your future. Do you really want to be the fiction of an escape, of something true, something known? There are paths right in front of you. Their apparent nature makes you focus on them. The soft curve of rocks, bridging the edges of the system and space beyond. There's enough here for a lifetime, maybe more, merging in the shadow of the collapse. But where does the vector terminate? Seraphine and Olivera? Tala and Wellspring? Junie and Hellion Gate? Change your mind. You refuse the choice, shift your thoughts. This is not your future. What if I want to go to Darkside? Station with a thronging thousands, where else to be but the heart of the Starward Belt as it transforms. Pull yourself out in the city station just outside this door, perhaps, among the bright signs, or higher in one of the ramshackle towers that look down on the ceaseless flow of Darkside. The projects, the possibilities, they make themselves known to you, the neon paths that curl and split and branch across the dark surface. You choose one. Bliss and Flicker Row, Cadet and the Couriers, Seraphine and a crew. Yeah, the path always bends back towards home, no matter how far it travels. The rig and a crew. Some of you now know, some yet to be met. Pushing out into the belt with a hole full of supplies and a contract in mind. An image in the cockpit with Seraphine looking out on the stars. An image multiplied many times with many moods and textures, but at the heart of it, an unspoken link between you and your pilot, and knowledge that Darkside will always be your home. You fly until the drive runs dry, and the hull plates flake off, and your bones become scrap this place is built on. Then you feel it, insistent pulling of a thread, the unraveling of your very self. The reboot comes on slow, an icy seeping into your mind. Little pieces of you flake off in the flow, fading with distance. You hear a voice, Bliss's voice, so far away now. You reach for it, stretch out every sense towards its familiar warmth. I'm starting the reboot. It's a whisper to the wind, pulled away from you the moment it's spoken. See you on the other side. All of a sudden, you wish you could make it stop. Incessant entropy of time, the tumbling of rocks through space, getting further and further apart every cycle, disappearing into the vacuum ahead. The decay of cells, the degradation of code, the corrosion and rot and rust. You wish this moment would freeze it all, and you might hang on to it, preserve the warmth, the light, the softness at the heart of things. Thought grips you, tears into you like fear. You feel ice creeping in, and you know everything will be lost, if not now, then mere moments away. And then you feel it, impossibly. Seraphine's coin, warm, smooth by worry, turning in your hand. Time has been pressed into that coin by hands, by fingers. It's a near infinite record of transient touches, each one shaping it in some small way. It's worn and worthless, it's bent and broken, and it's beautiful in all those things. So you press your thumb against it, your crooked, calloused thumb, again and again. Because you're a broken thing, you have nothing left but that brokenness, and the beauty that shines through it. And then, somewhere nearby, a button is pressed, and all at once, one thing ends and something new begins. The end. Is it the end or one of multiple endings in this game? I don't know. Like, it definitely feels like it has the possibility for an ending. And I know the first game had multiple endings. Because you could basically, the point of the first game was essentially like, get off the station. Or, like find a way to save yourself in some way. So like, the first game you could get on a colony ship, you could shack up with, or not shack up, but sign up with the mercenary Ankita as she left with Bliss, which is how they know each other. You did work with Bliss and Ankita, and they left together, and you could have left with them. There's one where you basically merge into an AI running the station you were on, and that's a way out. There's a couple of options. But I don't... This is the first time I've gotten to the end of this one, and I don't know what all the possible endings are. I've been trying to avoid spoilers when possible. So... I would be unsurprised if there wasn't more than one ending, but... This one is a lot more narrative focused than the first one. You definitely have things you need to do. Like, you need to get back to Darkside, you need to take out Laine. There weren't the standard markers of like, hey, get on this ship and fly off and fuck everything. Like, that isn't part of what this game is doing. Finish rebooting your frame. Possible futures. Alright. Let's actually check this here, now that I've... in this. So I have 23 of 30 achievements. So what am I missing? So... There was one mission where I could have beaten somebody to a hidden wreck, and I didn't. I could refuse to hand over the drive to the stranger in Hexport. I could bring Bliss to my Darkside recon. I could recruit a different character to my crew. There's another person I could have recruited to my crew. Buy the feed lines from Craston in Hexport, or complete the game on dangerous difficulty. Yeah, there aren't any other achievements for different endings. I think this might be the only one, Arabi. So it is just that one ending, which, again, is a change from the first game, but also just the general vibe of the game is different. The first one is, like I said, it's about possibility, and it focuses on that. This one is definitely more of a narrative. This one has a start point and an end point that are all centered around you and Laine and your relationship with them and your reboot that was interrupted. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense to be cyclical like that. So, yeah, thank you all for joining me. I had a lot of fun with this game. This is definitely one of my favorite series. I can see myself revisiting this in the future, though I might not do it on stream. I might just take some time for myself to play through it and check out the other classes and see what the game is like when I actually have, like, social skills. Because, man, it's weird not having engage as a skill, but I think that effectively locks me out of recruiting a character. Because there was stuff I didn't do and missions I didn't get to see, I think, because of that. So, yeah, it's interesting. Might crack open a guide and see if I can get those other achievements. But for now, I think it's time to raid out for the night. Let's see who's around. Thank you, Deus. Thank you, Robbie. You're a good guy. I appreciate it. Let's see. You know what? This will be a fun stream to raid into. See if we can hop in here. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, we are going to raid into a friend of mine who is playing some Date Everything. Gentle reminder, everybody, I do have a YouTube channel. If you missed my announcement earlier, we are going to have VODs starting to go live again next week, though shorts have still been going live on Tuesdays. So keep an eye out for those. Also, we got that Discord. We're slowly growing. You can catch some stuff there before it shows up anywhere else. And if you want to check out all my active socials, I have the link here. I might need to add TikTok. I need to remember to check and make sure that that's on there. But I do have a TikTok that I'm, like, putting content on too. It's still the same stuff you see on YouTube, but if you want to see it on TikTok, it's there as well. And then here's my raid message. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. Take care, and I will see you on Wednesday.